This was actually going to be my first video of the new year, but then I got distracted by the one-shot build that came first. Can you blame me though? You see that thing smacking people? But with this new Hidden Rose outfit, there are two ways you can take the loadouts you create. Going for the one-shots, or like I did when I first got my hands on it, go for the combos. And that's what inspired me to talk about the seal tag fakes, because as a range, there's not many things you can do to take away or lock substitutions. Attack types can just press their heavy attack button, defense types have the game-assisted Hazan strike, and healers have all their variety, including this tag. So let's talk about it. The first thing about combos is you cannot perform them when the enemy has their substitution available. Any player with even the smallest amount of skill can manage to use a substitution, so creating a situation to actually get off with combo varies. The reason I bring up combos when talking about the seal tag fake is they are best utilized in touch of death combos. This is a big part of what makes them so underrated. Most touch of death combos require all the stars to align to be able to pull them off. Otherwise, the enemy will just get their substitution back before completing it. This is especially true if the enemy is a higher health type, like attack or defense, or using a shorter cooldown substitution like Swiss Step. Incorporating the seal tag fake into your combos can help get around that before mentioned issue. The catch here is there are many ninja tools and ninjutsu that require specific techniques and weapons to accompany them in a loadout, and seal tag fake, being a stationary placement ninja tool, is no exception. This is a big reason why most, if not all, placement ninja tools are overlooked, because generally you have to build around them to use them, and the payoff you get from it isn't worth the trouble. This is probably why attack types have no type restricted placement ninja tools, because they have to always be on easy mode. In all seriousness though, pulling off combos, specifically TODs with the sealing tag fake, is stylish and satisfying. So let's cover what exactly makes them so underrated. There are three main functions that the sealing tag fake perform, which are take away the opponent's substitution stock, reverse the opponent's controls, and knock your opponent out of super armor. In addition to that, being hit by this puts them in a staggered state while dealing damage, and to top it all off, it's unblockable, so it will go through Susanoo armor and sand shields. Again, this is a stationary ninja tool, so it balances itself out with all these wonderful effects. Another reason I personally find this ninja tool underrated is, like I mentioned before, it requires a specific loadout to be built around it. Figuring out all the ways to utilize its powerful effects through creativity and ingenuity on range and heal type is fun and satisfying. While this reason doesn't add to why it's slept on gameplay wise, playing these two types specifically in a way that they aren't typically played to KO someone in a single combo is badass. So how do you get these underrated tags? Well, unfortunately, they are a double S item. That means you can only obtain them from 1010's shop when they are in rotation. You will need esoteric scrolls on hand or valuable scrolls if you have luck like that. But if you are a person who loves your sword combos, then I recommend getting this item whenever it appears in the shop again. Next, I want to talk about how to use these tags, because there are several ways you can approach it. I'll start with the range type and then move on to the heal class. With range types, you don't need much to get it set up. Like your first instinct is when seeing placement tags, just go with the Renegon swap and auto place your opponent into the tag. There is a small caveat with this, being that this tag has the smallest hitbox out of all the tags, so you'll find that your opponent won't always fall into the tag after being swapped. This can happen if your opponent is actively moving through the air. But let's say you don't want to spend a slot with the swap jutsu. You can always go the old-fashioned approach and just stand on your tag, making yourself look like a tasty hors d'oeuvre. This approach can be risky or boring since you are a low health type and your opponent may never want to approach you. But if you do decide to go this route, a good way to ensure your safety, as I mentioned before, the hitbox of the tags is small, use a move like Kamui Bond or hiding the ash to disappear, and your opponent will be left stunned. You can also go aggressive and use these two approaches, though they are mainly used for touch of death setups. Put on your Kusanagi and charge attack, stun them, and set them up during your combo. The reason I mentioned this last is because this approach requires the opponent to have already used up their substitution, almost defeating the purpose of using the tags in the first place. But you will typically tag them anyway to reset their stock even further. You can charge stun them in a Shikigami Dance Shield or 1,000 Needles or hiding in Ash, and then place the tags under them afterwards. There is also the option to stun them jutsu-less, but it will require a little bit more finesse. After stunning them, dash forward, place your tag, dash around them, then press your live tag button again. This all needs to be done while your lock-on is red and in very quick succession. But once you manage to place your tag on them, it's time to go in for the KO. The only way to successfully KO someone in a single combo is to have the jutsu that extend the combo counter. If you aren't familiar with the combo counter, simply put, it is how many attacks your enemy can take before they are soft knocked to the ground. To prevent your opponent from falling prematurely, use moves like Shikigami Dance Shield, Hiding in Ash, Icicle Swallow, or Inferno style Flame Lightning. These jutsu will help you extend your combo to complete the Touch of Death. For heal types, the strategy is very similar but also limiting at the same time. Since you don't have the swap option, your first option is the risky one of standing there and looking enticing for your enemy to attack you. The difference is, you don't have Kamui Bond or Hiding in Ash to guarantee your safety. The only other option is to stun them first, but like I mentioned earlier, they will need their substitution taken beforehand. But once they are stunned, you have jutsu-less option to dash forward, place the tag, spin around, and press the light attack. This is actually easier on the heal types since they can stun after second hit of their auto combo and don't require a second dash for readjusting the camera. The jutsu that you can use to stun and extend your combos for Touch of Deaths are Tsukuyomi, Shadow Possession, and Paralysis Jutsu. While range types generally have another damaging option or can even put 2 stuns in the same loadout, it is much more risky to do so with heal types since you will opt out of using a jutsu slot for healing. But the fact that healers can TOD someone with just one jutsu and save the second slot for healing is actually pretty dope. So all in all, these tags are dope, but their potential is reserved only for seasoned shinobi who are willing to release themselves from the crutch of heal tags and senbon and walk on their own. So if you made it this far in the video and you haven't subscribed yet, come on man, what are you doing man? Go ahead and hit that sub button. Also make sure you turn on notifications because I'm going to be dropping a lot more informational videos like this, tutorials, different breakdowns of jutsu, and also ninja tools, weapons, etc. So if you're looking forward to any information like that, yeah, go ahead and hit that sub button. But also if you found this information useful or interesting, go ahead and leave a like on the video because that will really help me out a ton. And also leave a comment down below asking more questions or just telling me what you guys think of seal tag fake and if you find them useful at all. But other than that, thank you again for coming through to the video, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace.